Right. Before I get into this video, I just wanted to state a few things. One, this video does talk about pedophilia, grooming, suicide, depression, and a lot of very sensitive subjects. So if you feel like you won't be able to listen to this or watch this without getting physically or mentally affected by this, please do not. This topic that is going to be talked about, or the topics talked about in this video, especially by MrTLexify, are very, very, very real, very serious. The whole situation that I've watched unfold over the past couple of weeks, at first, really shocked me. Coming from a YouTuber that I've watched and looked up to for a very long time now. I've watched his zombies content for the longest time, and to see this come out about him initially kind of messed me up a little bit, because this has happened quite a bit over the last couple of years, where YouTubers have been found out, have been sort of like, in a weird way, a similar thing to the whole Me Too movement has almost erupted, where people have been coming out left, right, and center, and things have just kind of erupted out of nowhere, that people are talking to minors online. It's just the whole situation is just so, it's fucked up, the whole situation with all these YouTubers and stuff. And when it kind of happens to someone that I have been watching, it almost feels personal. It almost feels like, not like it's happening to me, but it feels more hurtful, because I like that said person, or I feel like it's like a childhood, like someone used, like a celebrity you used to watch when you were younger, and they get found out for being a pedophile, or they get found out for doing some weird shit that you just do not expect them to do. And then you look back on it thinking, that was my childhood, man. In a similar sense, this is more real, because they're not as big as a celebrity. They're more sort of like an average human being, and they're more, you feel like you know them more because you get to see them on live streams and in YouTube videos, and you see more of them. Now, this video is more or less a video that MrTLexify has waited a while to upload and put it on his YouTube channel as kind of like a set the record straight kind of thing. He brings out all the stops, he gives so much evidence, and basically just completely shuts down every single thing that anyone has said about him in the past 2 weeks since his ex-girlfriend came out about this on the internet. Now, I don't typically do reaction videos. I don't typically get into drama. People who know me know I'm not a big drama centricated person. I don't care for drama. I actually hate it. But this one's a bit different. Some of you may not know, if you have not been big on YouTube, or if you don't watch... Oh my god. Let me do my intro. Those of you who aren't big on YouTube, or just watch me, or aren't really necessarily into like the whole big zombie scene or whatever, MrTLexify is a zombies YouTuber who's been around in the scene for a very long time. He had a previous relationship with a girl, and that ended a while ago, as I'm fairly certain it should have done. And she's recently come out with these allegations, and it was like a 2-part, 76-page long Google document essay about a lot of things. We're going to get into it. I've spoken for a while now. We're going to get into the video, but I just wanted to state that before we do start, the topics in this video are very sensitive. Like I said, grooming, pedophilia, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, suicide, and depression are just some to name a few. As we go through this video and watch it, we're gonna go through it, and every time I feel like I need to say something on a certain matter, I will. I won't talk over him. I'm just going to pause it, do a little 20-minute section of snippet, not rant on hopefully too much, and then go back to the video. So without further ado, I'm gonna maximize that.
My name is Lex, and this video will be my final response in regards to the allegations I'm being accused of by my ex-girlfriend, Reagan McNulty, or Pure Softy.
That's what this video is all about, okay? Now we're going to go through to my gaming scene on my OBS, and we're basically now going to watch this and just dive headfirst into this, and as I said, I'm going to give my thoughts and my opinions on this, so let's just do it.
The accusations against me are entirely false, and I have screenshot evidence that directly refutes the claims by my abuser and harasser. I apologize if my response seems late. It has taken me a few times to create this video because of the advice of my lawyers, as there is a legal investigation in place, despite my harasser, Reagan McNulty, stating otherwise.
So he didn't. So she came out with this about 2 weeks, roughly about 2 weeks ago now. And for the last 2 weeks, there have been hundreds of YouTubers creating content about Lex and just defaming him and just completely just character bombing him. Character defamation at its most from not only his ex, but a lot of people in the scene on social media, mainly Twitter and mainly YouTube. A little bit on Instagram, I'm pretty sure, but mainly the first two, Twitter and YouTube. There have been so many people that have come out with just the most heinous things that they've said about him in comments. People that used to be fans of his in his comment sections just berating him in the comments. And I've read not every single one, but I've read a lot of them. I've just sat there and I've just gone, you've heard one side of the story, you haven't heard anything, right? You're just chatting shit in someone's comment section, writing stuff, giving him death threats online. It makes me angry. It makes me so angry that people have the audacity to sit there and just, without having both sides of the... And I've just realised, not even just his fans or her, his friends, and you'll see more in the video, but his friends went against him and made content basically slating him online.
Also been in and out of the hospital, dealing with stress of thousands of people telling me to kill myself. To not seem disingenuous, I would like to state that I am presenting this information from my notes to ensure that all points are addressed accurately and appropriately. Please be advised that this discussion will touch on sensitive topics, including pedophilia.
Here we go. So you can't really see this behind my camera. It says viewer discretion is advised: pedophilia, grooming, sexual abuse, harassment, extortion, slurs, and suicide. Suicide and crisis lifeline. So he's actually put down here as well, which I think is incredible of him. This just shows how serious this really truly is. I'm not going to keep pausing it as often as I want to, but let's just, yeah. So just so you know, that's what he's going to be talking about in this video. Again, as I said, viewer discretion is advised.
Grooming, sexual abuse, harassment, extortion, slurs, and suicide. On the screen and in the comments, I will have a suicide hotline prevention number and a domestic abuse number for anyone who is currently struggling or who has had past experiences with abusive trauma. Everything started in July 2024, where people on Twitter began harassing myself about messaging someone named Alex. I have reason to believe that these were Reagan's minions she sent to do her bidding as she was under cease and desist. Alex was a fan of my channel, who had messaged me first because I momentarily opened my Twitter DMs to the public. Alex was the one who initiated the conversation with me. Our communication included a short Skype call during which I discussed the abuse I was currently experiencing with my ex-girlfriend Reagan. The conversation was strictly non-sexual and was never taken anywhere inappropriate. Alex was simply a kind fan that I confided in after a heated argument with my ex-girlfriend Reagan. Alex has also come out to admit that she has never accused me of doing anything wrong. Reagan accused me of messaging minors, which is once again a completely false accusation. When we were not in a relationship together, I was using dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble, where the minimum age to join is 18. The age of consent globally on these apps is 18, ensuring that everyone that I communicated with was of legal age. I want to emphasize that I do not specifically target dating 18-year-olds and minors as my ex-girlfriend claims. My current partner, who I've been with for almost a year now, is my age. Reagan even states in her own document that the women I reached out to were all 18. She has no genuine proof of backing her claims of pedophilia and no proof that I was only messaging 18-year-olds, as many of the women I tried to date were in their 20s. Regarding the video of me circulating, it was sent to verify my identity because a woman I was messaging doubted my authenticity due to me mentioning that I had a career with YouTube in my bio. The video was sent to someone from a local university after we moved the conversation off the dating app so I can confirm myself to her. The app does not allow personalized video or photo exchanges, which is why I've done this. I never strategically used my career to be with women. It is simply my job. There's no proof of these women I've messaged being underage, as Reagan insinuates, as well as no woman that I've ever messaged on any dating app having ever come forward that I ever messaged them in an inappropriate manner. I joined these apps after breaking up with Reagan, which happened multiple times. During these breaks, I never received confirmation from Reagan that our relationship was over. Instead, Reagan would often ghost me for months at a time and then suddenly return by love bombing me and saying how much she missed me, as she was a covert narcissist.
Massive toxic trait. Number one. We've already come across a fair few toxic traits in her already, but the biggest one I've just picked out on there is love bombing. I'm not going to go into detail about what love bombing is. You can... Love bombing? Love bombing is, you can go and Google it, you can search up yourself, and if you know what it is, you know what it is. Major red flag already, and we're only 3 minutes 20 into the video. He does show something here. Is it this bit? Yeah. So he basically says that she's a covert narcissist. Again, you can go and Google this for yourself. I have watched this video already once today on my way to work in the morning. I just literally drove listening to it. I didn't watch the entire thing. So this is now me properly sitting down and watching it and going through it properly. But the things I did hear in this, just ridiculous. We're not going to listen to this bit or watch this bit because this is actually someone else's content besides Lex's, and it just goes through basically what a covert narcissist is. In a nutshell, a covert narcissist is someone who plays a victim and then loops it back to a lot of reasons as to why they deserve someone who is good, and then basically just completely turns it on its head and then becomes the most narcissistic person you will ever meet. And it is truly, truly horrible to do that to someone. So we're going to go straight back to basically to a section here called cheating.
Especially by you.
I never went on a date with another woman. One of the clear breaks in our relationship was in September 2021 when she told me she wanted to pursue someone named Lawrence.
Let's just pause it here to have a look what's going on here. So cuties, I'm downloading something. Hi, babe. I beat the whole second chapter. Just finished streaming. Hi, I have something to tell you. Yes, love. I want to date Lawrence. I'm going to date him. I'm sorry. He asked me out and... Okay. That picture there in the center is Lawrence, I'm assuming. Yeah. So that obviously they're the same two pictures, and then that's him. One of this person, I'm gonna try not to give out slurs and call people names because there's just no point. She had created the documents basically calling Lex a pedophile. There is no proof to back this, and at no point is it obvious that he is a pedophile. However, Lawrence, who she calls out right here, who she mentions right here, is underage at this time. She is over the age of 18. He is under the age of 18. He is a minor. Therefore, over 18, under 18, she is dating a minor. People who date minors are, or try to get with minors and have sex with minors and do things with minors, are pedophiles. Instantly, she has already, and clearly in this video, she's been made out to it, she is a pedophile. Hypocrisy 101, right here. This is the first moment that we see in this video where she has basically been a hypocrite. Let's just carry on.
She was already cheating on me with him months prior as evidence of this Instagram photo.
So not only is she a pedophile, she is also a cheating pedophile.
I first learned about Lawrence's true age of 17 when I found her diary that detailed her cheating on me as an adult.
I won't be stopping to read every single bit of this video. If you want, you can go through, pause at any time you want, or go to Lex's video, which I will link down in the description below, and go and watch this for yourself and show him some support and love, because this is such a horrible situation for anyone to be put through. But we're not going to stop and keep reading or stuff like this. Don't worry.
Adult when we were in a relationship earlier that year. Reagan did this simply because I had tried messaging other women to escape this relationship. Reagan later stated that Lawrence's parents had kicked her out of his house and called the police on her when they discovered Reagan was lying about her age. Reagan targeted Lawrence, who was a minor. I was disgusted by her actions and tried to contact Lawrence's parents, but I was unsuccessful. She had a history of cheating on me, and I was only ever made aware that she cheated on me with two people, one Lawrence and two Marlo. All this cheating started because she found a photo in summer 2018 of me next to a female tour guide in Thailand. She was furious.
This is ridiculous. She thought I cheated on her in this image because we had a tour guide help us navigate Thailand as none of us knew the language. This was at Lebu Estate Tower in Thailand. She saw a picture of him standing next to a woman who he didn't even really know and assumed that he was cheating on her. And then she went batshit crazy and was like, oh, fine, I'm going to cheat on you too then. Yeah.
Furious about this image, as she thought that I had cheated on her, so Reagan then cheated on me with Marlo in November 2018. Just this last month, I was told anonymously that she had been cheating on me with 5 underage boys from her high school throughout our relationship. She lured them into my place in Los Angeles to take promiscuous photos of her in exchange for sex. This happened after I'd gone home to Canada in August 2022 to tend to my dog passing away. Reagan is also responsible for my social media accounts getting hacked, as she has tried downloading free software on my laptop just before I had left LA, which caused a Redline malware to steal all my information. Reagan would also try to justify her cheating, but when...
Do you see the batshit already leaking out in just this?
We were separated in 2019 and I tried messaging other girls, she would go berserk and would threaten me that I would never be able to leave the relationship, and if I did, she would expose me on Drama Alert or end my career. During this time, Reagan started extorting me for my money, as evidence from PayPal statements from 2019 to 2023, until I filed a cease and desist against her. The extortion became severe, as I had gone broke multiple times for her rent, lifestyle, and cheating on me with other men, which proves her claim of me simply being a pay pig false. Reagan had shared her made-up side of the choking incident in her Part 2 Google document. In reality, the situation happened much differently. While we were at the Airbnb in Coronado, California.
So this is the part where they talk about abuse. This is so messed up that all she ever did in those Google documents was just straight up lie. That's all she did, was just lie. Everything she said that he did to her, or he did, was just flipped. And it was like a mirror. She was doing everything. Everything that he did, no, she did.
Reagan saw that I had texted other women on my phone, as she would not allow me to leave the relationship since she threatened my career. I could not leave this situation, as I was broke and away from my home country of Canada, and I'd spent $12,000 on an Airbnb that I could not refund. Reagan went into a manic episode and broke a wooden board on my back and then started destroying the Airbnb. Reagan says she was using marijuana, which is not at all possible, as Airbnb hosts do not allow drug use on their property. The Airbnb host, Victor, even questioned why it looked like someone had repeatedly stabbed the walls, which were damages from Reagan that I had to pay for. Victor never mentioned anything about marijuana at all. When she started destroying the Airbnb, she first broke the wooden board over my back, took the broken pieces of board and deteriorated the walls, and then started threatening my life. In an act of self-defense, I had to restrain her to prevent further property damage and physical harm to myself, as my life was under threat. This was not the only incident of physical abuse from Reagan, as a month prior she decided to bite my face for once again looking through my phone and thinking I was...
She bit his face. And in her Google documents where she basically slandered this guy, she basically said that, oh, we were play fighting and then he got a bit too rough with me, so I had to bite him to stop him from touching me. Like, how messed up can you be? Just look at him and tell me that is not a face of a scared, sad man.
Was cheating. Reagan's claim of her biting me after us play fighting is completely false and makes no sense. I took this photo and applied to...
Look at the finger. Not even a week after this incident, I sent this photo to my mum to help Regan out. I sent this photo to my mum to help Regan out with a cut on her finger. Oh, that's her finger. All right, fair enough. With a cut on her finger she herself had got, despite her biting my face for trying to escape an abusive relationship. She did not allow me to leave. So that's her finger that she probably got for, I'm assuming... that was from, like, stabbing them, breaking all the walls and shit with her finger for whatever. Yeah, cool. All right.
Bandage by myself, as Reagan was not even in the room and was still furious at me for assuming that I had been with another girl, which was false. She would always get physical whenever I tried to escape the relationship. The second incident was staged, as evidenced by her Part 2 document where she admitted she would delete this choking video if I provided her with a boob and nose job. Reagan woke me up at 5 a.m. and physically assaulted me after looking through my phone and seeing text messages of mine with other girls. The physical abuse was so bad that I had to self-defend and restrain her to get her away from me. Once again, keep in mind, We were not dating, and I was solely there to get my belongings and help her move into a new place. This was after I figured out Reagan was cheating on me with a minor. Reagan did this to ensure that I would keep paying for her and her new apartment. I was so broke, I could not even get a hotel that night. My only option was to sleep at her place. Despite Reagan's claim that unfortunately that her phone wasn't recording, she still threatened me that she would release this video.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just such a coincidence that she has no video proof? Kind of crazy, right? Not even a voice note? Not even a sly little voice note to show that he was being the abuser? Weird how that works, isn't it?
If I did not continue to pay for her rent, lifestyle, and surgical procedures. In regards to the photo of her bruised leg, these photos are fake, as at the time we were moving from one apartment complex to another. Reagan claims this event took place on June 6, 2023, with the photo being taken on June 7, 2023. I had taken a picture of movers spending the entire day and night on June 6th, the supposed event of physical abuse, moving our stuff from her old apartment into the new one. On June 7th, we were also not in our old place where she took this photo of her bruised leg. There was no time for any of these accusations to have taken place, and if something did occur, the movers would have noticed. Reagan was in 3 separate car accidents in Los Angeles during 2022 to 2023. These bruises were from these car accidents when we lived in our old apartment where I was not in the car at the time. Reagan had also messaged a fan of hers regarding why the bruise was there in a Twitter post in 2023, which she has now deleted.
Crazy.
She also has Instagram evidence of her showing that bruise in a photo in 2022 before this incident could have ever occurred. The photo of her bruise does not make sense, as this could not happen from her claim of me kneeling on her. This bruise looks like a high-impact car.
Yeah, how are you meant to give someone a bruise like that through just kneeling on them? And of all places, on their leg, right near their kneecap? And you think that's going to cause a bruise? You can clearly see that right there looks like a pectoral scar. Like, when you tear a muscle off of the tendon or off of the bone, that ripping sensation, the trauma that your body goes through, nothing really can create a bruise quite like that besides that, or a high impact abrasion or some bruising of some sort. That is not just someone kneeling on you. That is like a full on, like a smack, tear, or something very hard hitting. And like he says here, a car crash, which could very well cause bruising just like that. Which is that right there by your knee, if you think about it, is at the right sort of height for your legs to crunch, smack, knock into the bit of the driving seat or the bit right near the dash where your legs go underneath. Crazy how that works out, right?
Car crash. She explained how she sent me the groping video in 2020, saying how she thought it was so cute and how she loved that we did that together. There's proof of her lying, saying that she wanted to turn 18, how the only way for us to work was for her to lie also about her age, and also how she says she wouldn't have sex in 2018 because it's illegal, almost like you have proof of you saying you'd wait until December 13th until you were legal. Here's also more proof about how she would fantasize about me before we even knew each other and cry about me, how she said she was in love with me before I even knew her. How about you saying you were a virgin in 2020? Or how about you saying you'd love...
I'm your virgin baby girl. I love when I tell people my age and they're like, oh really? You look so young, like 16. This is disgusting. This is actually disgusting.
Of lying to people that you were 16? What about admitting to me you orgasmed to me about my streams when you were 14? Or how you'd ask me to be your boyfriend again in December 2017 after we had separated? How about you telling me you were happy you found your daddy at 15 before I even knew you? Or you wanting us to live together when we didn't in 2017? Or you claiming you wanted to do cocaine at 16? Or maybe even claiming that the daddy kink was yours and not mine? How about you admitting admitting you lied about your underage age and how it still didn't do you justice? Or how about you admitting you regret taking things slow with me in 2017 when I told you I wanted to wait and you were completely obsessed with me? Or how about you saying you knew you wanted me at 15, or even me admitting that I just wanted to be your best friend instead of in a sexual relationship multiple times, yet you were the one that wanted to be a little, which is something I did not want to partake in. Lastly, how about all this proof, even after all of this, that you still wanted me despite your claims of finding me repulsive? This woman has lied to the public so many times,
That's the bottom line. That's exactly what she is. She is a fucking liar. And the worst part about, I was going to wait to say this right at the end, but I feel like this can't wait. The worst thing that she's doing with this, and a similar thing happened with the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. If you remember that, back to, was it 2 years ago now, a couple of years ago now. Through this, she is tainting the realness of actual victims, of women, because let's be real, it's often women that go through this kind of thing, who often get abused. It's not all women, obviously, but the most cases is women and feeling like they can't come out about something because no one will believe them. This right here, what this silly bitch is doing, is creating such a like a dark cloud over the ability for women in future to come out about this stuff, because no one's going to believe them. And that is going to hurt a hell of a lot of people, more than what people actually fully realize about this entire situation. She is unbeknowingly destroying a lot of chances for people to be heard, seen, and get their justice through her crying wolf, lying, and being the person that she is in this entire video. It's sickening and so saddening to see. It's character defamation at its finest. And she demanded money so that she demanded money from him so that she wouldn't come out with this stuff to try and basically just ruin his reputation. And now look what's happened. Now he has the police involved, he has lawyers involved, it's gone to court, and I really hope, I so truly hope that he sues her for every single last penny that she has. I really hope that that's what happens.
I don't even know how to keep track of it anymore, and how you literally admit you'd flex my gifts on your Instagram because you love them and not because I use them to get a service out of you, or even how you admitted you wanted to invite your own friends who bought your drugs to my place. There is also a serious claim where I'd raped my ex-girlfriend, Reagan. The statement made by her is completely inappropriate and false. I can absolutely, without a doubt, confirm that everything intimate we did together was consensual and of age. There is absolutely no real proof showing otherwise. As well, in all the photos she took of us during this completely terrible time, it would not make sense as to why a supposed victim of rape would then take multiple photos and videos with their abuser being happy and smiling.
Yeah.
Reagan also then proceeded to post these photos and videos on social media. I had told her that I did not want photos of us on my Instagram because I had felt we were too young at the time, which she got absolutely furious about. Reagan had a kink in regards to the word rape and had a tendency in throwing it around a lot, which can be seen in her diary and multiple text messages.
I think that's so weird. Like, fine, have your kinks, have your fetishes, but fetishizing something is derogatory and as foul as rape. It's almost like you're creating a joke. It's like you're putting something that is very severely bad and making a joke of it or making light of it when it's just foul. Why would you fetishize something like that? It's just wrong. That like you should feel free to rape me at any time. I got a nappy now, kisses. Daddy, please rape me as I sleep. This girl is deranged. She's sick in the head.
Reagan's accusation of grooming is once again utterly false. The only reason Reagan started calling me a groomer was when she started cheating on me with Lawrence. Reagan had told Lawrence that
Who is underage?
Lex was an adult and Reagan was a minor when we first met, which is also false. Lawrence used this information as an attempt to get her to expose me.
What was that? Because then I think like, oh yes, I still look young. I hope I look young when I'm riding daddy's dick. It feels like dirt in my mouth when I say this. I don't... Oh. And yes, I know the only way for us to work was for me to lie about my age. But it doesn't make me feel well knowing that my boyfriend fucking flirted with a 13-year-old once I turned of age. Oh, this is her talking about the guy that she was seeing and cheating on with Lex. The only thing I lied about was my age, but like I still said an underage age, so it didn't do me any justice. I love when I tell people my age and they're like, oh yeah, we were recent that one.
Lawrence used this information.
What's this tweet? I'm not saying I have a habit of lying, but I have a habit of meeting people and telling each person a different background story and making them all think I'm someone I'm not. So gaslighting, like yeah, I'm a Harvard student. Yeah, I'm the president. No one's going to believe you're the president. You thick bitch.
As an attempt to get her to expose me for financial gain. She had never once called me a groomer or a pedophile until she met Lawrence. She constantly used these fake ideas Lawrence gave her as a way to manipulate me when she did not get what she wanted. This is evident in Reagan's tweets, where she repeatedly posted how she wanted to share her story throughout the years after 2021 when Reagan and Lawrence met. While she was publicly hinting at exposing me, Reagan privately demanded money and threatened to expose me on Twitter.
Again. What is there a word for this? Am I thinking of the right word when I say extortion? To extort someone by requesting money, otherwise you're going to publicly defamate their character. I feel like I'm getting that right, but I'm not too sure.
If I did not comply. Her sole purpose was to scare me into giving her money by using these words as a threat to destroy my career.
I really wish you wouldn't use pumpkins in her name. Like, that hurts me physically. I love Halloween. I love all things about Halloween. I'm a fucking big autumn lover. The fact that I just saw a pumpkin in the name it just makes my blood boil. I hate it. This whole situation that Lex has had to go through is saddening, it's sickening, and I hate it that he had to go through this, man.
I knew I did nothing wrong, and I always tried to show her love. I attempted multiple times to tell Reagan's mother about these scenarios and even tried to explain that our relationship could not have been statutory rape as everything was handled legally. It was not because I committed this crime that I was explaining this to her. It's because I was...
Reagan... So she's lied to her mother. Reagan also lied to her mother, saying she sent the choking video to her when in her document she says it never existed. She's just lying all the time.
Clarifying what she believed had happened, which did not occur. This fear is why I continued to give her money and why she never officially filed a police report. It was all to extort my online image. Another serious accusation against me is that I groped my ex-girlfriend at a Z-House party. The video she cites as evidence is misleading, as we were already in a public consensual relationship, which can be seen in...
She lied again. She lied again. All she does is lie.
Numerous social media posts where she is showing me off and bragging about how...
Look at how many there are. And little did she know, she's creating evidence to bring herself down in the future.
How much she loves being in a relationship with me. Nobody at the Z-House ever witnessed any sexual abuse, as this simply did not occur. This includes the oral rape accusation that never happened. Reagan, who was coherent and filming these videos, was seen laughing and sticking her tongue out and recording these videos happily. She has provided no proof or documentation of any discomfort and then later asked when she could come and see me again. During the Z-House party, when my friends first met Reagan, she had asked me to lie about her age. As seen in photos, she would constantly lie to people about her age and even admitted that when we first met, she lied and told me that she was 16. She also found it hot AF to date older guys and stated that at a young age, she knew she wanted to be with an older man.
Laugh my ass off for high schools to date college guys. Girls, shut up. It's not like creepy. It's like hot as fuck. At like 15 fucking years old, I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted an older man. No fucking way did I ever see myself or fantasize myself in a romantic scenario with someone my age, lol. At 15, I knew about creepy guys too. I knew the difference. I knew the difference. Learn to spell. I know not everyone will, but come on. I know not everyone will, but come on. This is something that should be taught to you when you're 10 straight up. Oh my god! To when I was 14 and I would orgasm over your stream.
Reagan never mentioned having a problem with our 2-year age gap relationship. It is very...
And it's a 2-year age gap. A 2-year... Oh my god.
Important to note that when my friends first met Reagan, Reagan had asked me to lie to them about her age. She even lied to me about her age. Her claim that I used an escape room passport to lie to my friends about her age is entirely false. She was the one who forged her own passport with her own fake ID, and I had told her to go outside and not participate in the escape room as it was 18 and over. Reagan decided to lie to join the escape room. Reagan had never used this to prove anyone about her age, contrary to her claims. Pat, or the Smith Plays, had stated in his response...
This guy is getting so much shit in his comment section because he once was Lex's best friend. Now picture this, just quickly, just picture this in your head, right? Think of your best friend right now. The person, just imagine him sitting next to you, okay? Or her, depending if you're a girl or guy. Or if you're a guy, and you get what I mean. Your best friend. Just picture your best friend, okay? Now, imagine a situation, a scenario, where your best friend turns their back on you, sides with you. Oh no, this has happened to me before. That's crazy. Your best friend decides to side with your ex and then create a video about you online with more character defamation, with more lies, and basically just throwing you under the bus because of something that your ex had said about you in a post that you know to not be true. And then you're just sitting there like, bro, you were my best friend. That's this right here. And he's going to go into more detail about it.
That I had been hiding why I went to my cousin's, but this is not true. I did go to my cousin's, but I also did see Reagan as well. Reagan also claims that I lured her in with gifts, which is entirely false. She was the one begging to come to the house and see me, as all her gifts were requests that I had purchased for her since we were in a relationship. In Reagan's Google document, she lied about me forcing kinks onto her. Reagan requested to be called by these kinks. She fantasized about being a little and calling me daddy. These were all her own personal kinks that she wanted me to participate in. Reagan also stated how she blamed me for her lack of education, which is false. The evidence shows that she bought...
Oh my god. How can you blame someone else for your lack of education? No one can stop you from learning. You and only you can choose to pay attention, to learn, and to further increase your education. You cannot blame someone for you not engaging your own brain and learning. How does that make sense? It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Marijuana underage to skip school, which is a situation that I had no involvement in as I was not even in the country.
Add drug addict to the list of already fucked up reasons why she is a horrible human being. No, go away.
Another important thing to mention is that Reagan was an obsessive fan.
I said that because something came up on my screen. I'm not losing it. Don't worry.
Of mine. She fetishized me before I even knew who she was. I never used my influence to engage with her. She was the first person to message me and enact any sort of a relationship. The claim that she was not interested in doing intimate things with me and felt repulsed while we were in a consensual public relationship. Intimate things with me.
I just saw something.
While...
Okay, we're going to go left to right. You deserve extra dick sucking. Let me suck pee-pee. Shut up before I suck your dick. I'm trying to sleep, but I started thinking about how I wish I could suck it. Brother, Brother,
we're in a consensual public relationship is just completely false. Reagan was the one begging me for intimacy, even when I had told her that I wanted to wait and not rush anything as we were so young. I would like to apologize to anybody that has been affected by the situation in a negative manner. Specifically, I would like to formally apologize to Pat.
Don't apologize to that prick. Don't apologize to him.
Smith plays and everyone involved at the Z House where Reagan made me lie about her age to you. There was never any sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape that happened during this time. I'd also like to apologize to Merc Music and Corinna, as I was not talking about them being minors, but them being engaged, since the message Reagan had used was taken out of context. However, I would like to state, Pat, that I did send you a message privately on your Twitter.
This is where it gets fucked up from the friendship point. This is where it gets really bad. And I feel so sorry for him, because if this happened to me with the friends that I have, that I put myself in his shoes, and I think about my own friends doing this to me, I would be an absolute mess. I would be distraught. It's just
before you made this statement public, in which you saw, but you chose not to respond and hear my side of events.
Ghosted by your own friend in a moment of need. Just imagine.
And Reagan's roommate's side of events. You not wanting to hear anything I had to say and painting my ex-girlfriend in a benevolent light when there's evidence of her clearly being a pedophile was a direct punch to my gut after calling you my best friend for many years. You had said you had looked at all the evidence, but conveniently skipped out on how Reagan is a definitive pedophile proven by her own diary and words. I don't want to hear about a lack of trust where nothing bad happened when you did not listen to Noah's ex-wife Martina about Noah's scandalous behavior in 2021, which did not allow for a third Z House to happen. Noah invited all of us to Texas in September 2021 for a third Z House, yet nothing was ever filmed because Noah cheated on Martina in 2021.
This is another thing that's really stirred up the whole zombies community today, is that we've just found out that Noah J cheated on his ex-wife. So you've got one friend who was his best friend who threw him under the bus and basically stopped being friends with him and wasn't there for him in times of need. Another one of his friends who, when he was part, like he said, part of the Z House, another friend of his, I just smacked my microphone, another friend of his that cheated on his now ex-wife, but cheated on his wife back in the day. And we're going to get onto another friend as well, which is just as fucking, oh my God.
At EDC, and you and JC were utterly supportive of him in.
That's the other prick. Let me just move my. Can I move my camera right now? I can't. Wait. That guy right there. This prick. We'll get into it.
Texas, even inviting him to cry at our own Airbnb without my consent. It boggles my mind that you would be supportive of a man who blatantly cheated on his wife for fun.
Let's just let this sink in real quick. Another YouTube creator that I actually also used to really enjoy watching. I literally watched his live stream yesterday when he reacted to the reveal trailer of the new Zombies game when it comes out in Black Ops 6. And the next day, this is how close to home that it can hit with people, especially me. I'm a YouTuber, obviously. I love watching a lot of YouTubers. This hit home because I used to really like watching Noah J, and now I look at him and I can't.
Yet would not share the same sentiment to me when I was obviously in an abusive relationship that I could not escape from. JC,
imagine cheating on your. First of all, he had a wife. But just imagine cheating on someone that you love dearly, right? For a bit of fun. For a bit of throwaway pussy. Just imagine. Just think about it right now. If you're in a relationship, I know it's horrible to think about, but just put yourself in the shoes of Noah J. You're at an event. Your wife is at home, in a hotel room, in an Airbnb, not with you there and then. And a girl comes along and you decide to go back to your hotel, her hotel, sleep with her. The next morning you wake up, realize what you've done, and you've just thrown everything away. For a new girl, just for one experience. One measly experience that lasted, probably 10 seconds because you're not too quick. I'm sorry, it angers me so much that people do this.
He and Noah are not exempt from this either. I had moved to the same apartment complex as JC in 2022 and even shared about my abuse with him, and he did absolutely nothing and actively avoided me. This is why you unfollowed me on Twitter 2 years ago.
Crazy.
Noah had also said he would visit me, but never came to my place once. JC, you couldn't even spend 10 minutes to sign a recommendation letter for my visa after all we've done together over the years.
Wait, we need to go back for that. So, if that tweet is about me, that hurts. You have no idea what I've been going through lately. This is JC saying this. All my messages have been nothing but very mature and kind about the situation. Not too sure what the situation is that he's talking about, but either way. And then Lex goes, you have time to be on Twitter, but you don't have time to write me a 10-minute letter. It doesn't feel like you've been mature at all. I've missed out on a couple friend dates that gives you the right to abstain my entire existence. It feels like things have changed and you're different now, so I'm just going to move on, man. Basically, Lex needed a letter from obviously a friend or someone he knows to be able to authenticate his visa to live in the US whilst he was away from Canada. One of his good friends was going through something so that right now he just couldn't write a quick 10-minute letter to say, look, you know, this guy's good, he's safe, he's whatever. I don't know how it works because I've never applied for a visa. I don't know what it's like to be in America because I'm not American, but I can understand in this situation how something like this could really still hurt Lex in the case of, look, you're my friend, just do something for me for once. I do a lot for you, or like, you know, maybe he doesn't do a lot for him, but just, you're my friend. Be a good friend to me. And in this bit over here, down here, it says, I really don't mean any disrespect with this message, just want to be, I'm not reading all this, with the house, I have a lot on my plate right now, so the letter is rough for me to do no matter what.
Find a recommendation letter for my visa after all we've done together over the years. If you want to trust my ex-girlfriend so much, here's a post Reagan made about seeing you cheat on Emmy with her sister Kate at Coachella. Everybody in our group saw your inexcusable actions and were utterly shocked that you would be sensually touching your girlfriend's sister in front of all of us while Emmy was not there. I don't think—
Just scum! Just such scummy behavior. Just don't even imagine it, mate. Just don't even go there. But just like the thought. Put yourself in like a festival position, right? And you know someone and their girlfriend is currently away. And that person is touching his girlfriend's sister inappropriately in front of all of you and your friends. Scum. Pure scum. Just scum.
I think PlayStation Studios wants to associate with the
I've been wanting to say this for a while, but now I finally can. I'm a junior game designer at PlayStation Studios. Oh, this ain't gonna age well.
Peter who defends pedophiles such as my ex-girlfriend Reagan. I guess it makes sense considering Noah also invites pedophiles to his own.
I forgot this was in here. Sorry, I'm eating a Mogu drink. I've just found it today and I've seen it on TikTok and whatnot. Actually pretty good. A little side note there. But it's got chunks in it, so I'm eating the chunks. Noah J. House DJ set at Future Factory. Is that really Minilad? I don't know if that is Minilad, but if it, I mean, either way, he invites Minilad. Minilad was in the DJ booth, meaning Noah specifically invited him to be there. I'm sure at least some of you have heard about Minilad in the past. Jesus fucking Christ.
DJ sets.
And if you don't know who Minilad is, he used to be a part of a group of gamers on YouTube back in the day, back in like the Black Ops 2 primetime era, who did like gaming funny content online. And over the past couple of years, I think it was like 2-3 years ago now, he came out and self-admitted himself as a pedophile talking to underage girls.
This is incredibly disingenuous of all of you and makes sense why each of you would side together and defend my pedophilic ex-girlfriend while never contacting me once and dropping me at the whim of a hat. Things have never been the same with me and any of these original zombies.
Such snaky behavior. And the fact that I've also been cheated on, which is why I relate to him quite well in this, as well as the fact that I've also had one of my ex-best friends, someone I used to call one of my best friends, side with my ex. It's just snaky, scummy behavior, and I hate it so much.
YouTubers since this point in time, and I will never be working with them ever again. I will also not be apologizing to my abuser and harasser, Reagan McNulty, as I have finally escaped from you, and will never allow you to ever control me and degrade me again.
That's the map I got groomed
Power stance. This pisses me off so much. I remember listening to this whilst I was in the car today. She jokes about grooming. She jokes about well, it was just... We'll watch it, and I'll bring out the things where I find just horrible about this. Also, her voice pisses me off, and so does she, just looking at her.
I fucking love...
Regan claimed I groomed her on Zetsubo no Shima, but she was the one begging to be in my lobby. Oh, that's not going to age well, is it? This whole thing is just... that her whole situation is just not going to age well for her.
Oh, let's go. Guys, imagine sliding in my DMs being like...
And put the vape down.
I can help you with Zetsubo. I can't let him win. I can't do that until I get him. YouTuber reacted to
Regan getting upset that streamers are profiting off of her grooming situation, but not herself. Then don't make shit like this public. Keep it between the two of you. Take it through legal action, and then solve it between the two of you through legal action. All she's clearly wanting to do with this whole entire situation is try and bring down Lex as quickly and as harshly as possible, and it's just backfired. This whole video is literally the whole entire thing imploding on her, and I'd love this so much.
Both of the docs earlier today? Oh gosh, which one? Hi, Bryce. Which one? I wish somebody would reach out to me and talk to me instead of being like, let me profit off this. A lot of people are making profit off my own fucking trauma, and it's pretty fucking lame. So funny, in the beginning of the diary.
Well, read this. Regan's game plan to get away from me was to lie about her age and invade a 17-year-old's home and groom him and abuse him. Regan admitted to me Lawrence had gone to hospital for attempted suicide after she broke up with him. Regan is a genuine threat. Can I just get this off? Oh, okay, I have to have it up. Regan is a genuine threat and left a lasting physical scar on Lawrence's chest over his heart. Is that a metaphor? And left a lasting physical scar. No, it's not. Okay. Lawrence's chest over his heart. What did he try and do? A 17-year-old kid almost lost his entire life to this woman. I want to reiterate that this all started because I went to Thailand and took a photo with a female tour guide, causing Regan to cheat on me multiple times with multiple minors, inviting them to any place. I have never once gone on a date or ever cheated on this woman once. There's so far there, beside obviously before this video came out, everyone was having their own opinions on it, but now this video's come out, there's not a single point in this entire video when you can say a single bad thing about Lex. You just feel so sorry for him, and like I said before, I hate the fact that he's going through this.
It's like me talking about Lex and I'm like so unhappy in our relationship. It's me being like, I'm miserable. I hate my life. I hate Lex. Lex sucks. And I would like...
Not from what we've seen, love. It's a little bit different. In fact, it's the complete fucking polar opposite. But carry on. You just carry on.
It's so funny. You read it and it's like, my game plan to get away from Lex. What's another tag I could put? I should put groomed.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Well, he just is. You know what I mean? Shut up.
Just kidding. I'm just trying to cope by making jokes. Making jokes.
She said it right there. She is making jokes about grooming. You don't joke about grooming unless you are a stand-up comedian in front of a crowd and you know it's for satire. This is not her. She is not a stand-up comedian. She is not in front... Well, she's technically in front of a group of people. But she's not a comedian. She's not a stand-up comedian. And she's certainly not meaning it in a very satiric way. She is saying it in a fairly serious manner and joking about it.
Guys. Rizzler.
Yeah, look. Regan yet again joking about her being groomed when she literally invaded a miner's home.
Don't. But if you like Findom and if you want...
Regan admitting she is a dominant woman, meaning she has always been a predator towards anyone that she wants to date, including myself and Lawrence.
Somebody be like your dominatrix.
Which bleeds into the previous point of him earlier, calling her a covert narcissist. It all fucking links together. It all makes sense.
I'm here for you. Clearly, everybody knows that I could be a dom, I guess. Scarlett's a rat. Scarlett's a cocksucker.
Regan is really looking at sounding like a victim by making fun of people who are bringing up her own story.
Cock muncher. How does it feel to be a cock muncher? How does it feel to be a fucking cock muncher, bitch? And have fun and have a good time and spread happiness and spread awareness. But now I'm gonna have to be like the fucking...
She's the definition of verbal diarrhea. And how are you meant to take this seriously?
Poster child for...
Regan, you are not a poster child of anything other than being a pedophile. You are not a child anymore. You're turning 24 this December. Wake up.
Grooming and shit and assault, which doesn't bother me. But... It doesn't bother me, but...
Here are some brief points that were shared on Twitter that I would like to discuss. Occasionally, while Regan and I were in different countries, we would send each other care packages, which included cards and gifts. However, the letters Regan shows of mine are all typed and have been forged by her to further defame my image. She claims that my company name on the bottom of these letters was edited.tv, which is completely false. If you actually go to the website, the LLC name is Velvet Platform LLC and not edited.tv co. I also bookmarked controversial tweets that I wanted to discuss with personal friends privately. Regan had also said that the birth control was her wanting to buy it herself, contrary to her saying that I had forced her to purchase it. The text message of Regan alleging myself calling her my minoring is false, as proven by people.
Right fucking there. That is the biggest bit of evidence that she is making a lot of stuff up. And if she... This is the thing. Off of one bit of evidence that she's supposedly put over, right? You can tell by just one bit. If she's faked one thing, then you know she can sure as hell fake a lot of other stuff. A lot of shit.
Finding the 5G symbol on the phone when this was not invented at the time of the screenshot. I could also not find any of this on my own phone. Regan says that I bought her marijuana paraphernalia, which goes directly against my evidence of her friends purchasing this for her. Regan had told me that I rehired Don, but she was the one who told me to rehire him. Also, Don was originally Noah's editor, so I'd appreciate it if people were...
We've heard about him before, haven't we? He's come up before. We know about him. Crazy.
Or to stop blaming me for somebody else's actions. And as a fun fact, Reagan, I also never weighed 250 pounds, and I have no clue how anyone could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on OnlyFans. I don't even make that much money. I would also like
crazy.
to publicly clarify that I'm not using Christianity as an excuse for me using self-defense and messaging other women. Having attended Christian schools throughout my entire life and leaving only after high school to focus on my YouTube career, my return to Christianity was deeply personal and rooted from a challenging experience I had in 2022.
Which is fair enough.
At this time, with all the lies, extortion, and mental abuse I endured from my ex-girlfriend, which was also severely and negatively damaging my mental health, one night at the top of my old apartment building, the pain I was living in was too much, and which brought me to the brink of a very tragic and permanent decision. It was during this incredibly emotional time that I rediscovered my faith. I'd like to apologize to anyone that felt that I used Christianity to justify my past relationship and for any derogatory comments I may have made. The constant allegations that have been blindly thrown at me over the past few weeks have caused my family to have admitted me to the hospital for suicidal ideation, which is another factor as to...
It got so bad that his own family... His family had to step in to send him to hospital for monitoring for suicidal tendencies. I'm a big proponent for men's mental health. I think it is very, 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 not very, it's such a big topic that needs to be spread awareness, that it needs the awareness spread about it so much more than what it currently gets notified for. Men go through a lot of shit. I'm not going to go into too much about this, but about, you know, men's mental health and suicide, but it's just heartbreaking. As someone who's been through depression and suicidal tendencies before, to unrelated reasoning to what he's talking about, more, I was actually on a course of medication for skincare and whatnot, and it, you know, made me very depressed and, you know, suicidal and stuff like that. And it's banned now. That the drug is banned. But as someone who's been through a similar sort of feeling of where his mind was at, it is horrible. And it like, I can relate so hard with this, which is why it touches my heart in a very specific way.
Why I'm uploading this late. I dealt with thousands of people telling me to kill myself and calling me a pedophile for a 2-year age gap relationship, and the constant humiliation from the entire world knowing my private relationship, which is exactly what my ex wanted from this. Having over 150 million people see my most private and degrading Snapchat conversation with her is genuinely one of the least hurtful things I've experienced from her consistent abuse.
Which is crazy to think about. That's mad.
That Snapchat conversation's sole purpose was to show that I have nothing to hide and that Reagan is confirming she is targeting a minor, being Lawrence. No qualified professional lawyers or police I have spoken to would identify the evidence against me provided by Reagan McNulty as pedophilia, grooming, or abuse. She could not prove anything about her.
So it's official. It's literally official, because obviously, clearly, he's gone through the legal system with this. He's gone through the police, and he's gone through lawyers, and they've clearly stated that nothing that she can prove, nothing that she's even said, has proved him to be a pedophile or anything of what she said. That's crazy. That's a bit mad.
Allegations, and if there ever was a real problem, I'm confused as to why she didn't contact the police. I first got the law involved in 2022 with an official police report in LA regarding a random stranger physically assaulting me because of Reagan verbally assaulting him. In 2023, I got a cease and desist and tried to keep this relationship drama private. I've also gotten multiple lawyers involved with different specialties in regards to this case with an official police report filed in Canada against her in 2024. Reagan has never once filed the police report even after all of these situations. She tormented me, extorted me, then publicly slandered and humiliated me. These aren't the actions of a victim, but of an abuser. Ask yourself genuinely, would an abuse victim retweet memes about their own abuse situation?
Why did so many of you follow? Are you guys real?
And that right there, what he just said, would an actual abuse victim retweet memes, talk about, quote, and joke about their own what's the word I'm looking for? Trauma? How offensive is that to actual victims? She is a ridiculously horrible human being.
Is Lex bot following me again? Y'all, the last time I got bot followed, it was Lex. I never said it out loud, but I knew it was him because the day that I got the bot follows, he texted my mom. He texted my mom and told her that he was getting threats on Twitter. Everybody knows that I could be a mean-ass bitch, and if you like a mean-ass bitch, I'm here for you.
Caught in 4K. Caught in 4K. That's crazy.
Why has Reagan done this? Potentially for her new OnlyFans and Passes account she has started to gain more financial income. It was my fault.
Of course she's going down that route. This whole thing was just it was a publicity ploy. Of course it was.
for forgiving her every time and letting her manipulate me, my family, and my friends. After I noticed what she was doing, I no longer felt comfortable seeing her or providing money, as can be seen in the text of my previous document. I'd like to formally apologize to everyone who was constantly telling me to leave this relationship with her, and I never listened to you. If these accusations have tainted your perception of me, I understand and wish you nothing but the best. As to the transit drama, what part of I do not condone Danny's actions said in that video proves that I am going to be supporting him? I've only ever wanted the best for anyone ever involved in any situation that I have ever been in. I'd like to conclude this video with a suicide hotline prevention number and a domestic violence/abuse hotline for anyone who has ever gone through or is going through a similar situation.
Good lad.
I'd also like to thank every single individual who reached out privately to me during such a critical time. Your input mattered more than you could ever imagine.
I noticed it. I noticed that the first time he said that sentence, and it choked me up back then, just a second ago. There's a cut after he says this sentence, and you can tell by the way his voice is starting to shake that he genuinely means that, and it is just so heartbreaking. Let's just hear it one more time.
During such a critical time, your input mattered more than you could ever imagine. Reagan.
If anyone knows how, if anyone knows how emotional I am, it's my girlfriend, and she'll know that I cry at the slightest glimpse of any emotion, any sad situation, anything that could literally trigger you to start tearing up. It will tear me up, and that just gets me every time. My eyes are literally, yeah. Damn, I'm sorry, Lex, man.
You are a manipulative, liar, cheater, and abuser. You've not only extorted myself, but also your own roommate. If you don't want to believe my story, that is your choice. No amount of evidence or anything I could show proof of will ever show the true extent of how badly this past relationship negatively affected my life. I do not understand how someone so vile could be trusted. I urge anyone who chooses to support Reagan McNulty or
Look at that. Oh.
You're softy in the long run to not also fall victim and make the same mistakes I did in forgiving and falling for all her lies and constant manipulation.
After watching that a second time, it's like, I'm actually a little bit speechless now. I think I've said everything that I needed to. Anything that I needed to say in the moment whilst we were watching that, I kind of just said anyway. And he summed it up perfectly at the end. He literally summed it up perfectly. Yeah. Lex, I guess this is if you're watching this, I am truly so sorry that you had to go and you are still going through all of this. I cannot even begin to imagine, one, how you had felt, have felt, are feeling, or will feel. This is a very specific kind of case or situation. And the fact that you are managing to deal with this so maturely is admirable. And I truly hope that you come out of this on top. And I am really looking forward to you uploading again, getting back to you again. This is just so sad to see. And I really hope that it gets better for you from now on. And that's all I've got to say on the matter. I've already said all I need to say. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.